This is Katkinson, Director of Operations for Itasca School District number 10. This is a presentation requested by the Board of Education to explain the difference between the calculations for the impact of a proposed referendum between the district's estimates and the calculations required by the Illinois Property Tax Code. To explain this difference, it's important to take a step back and look at how the district calculated the tax rate increase that is needed to generate an additional $1 million in funding. This chart shows multiple years, tax years, and then looks at the equalized assessed value, or the total value of property within Itasca School District number 10, the tax rate for those years, and then the total taxes that are estimated to be generated. Towards the right-hand side of the screen, there are two columns. One is 2013-A, and that is what the tax rate in tax collections would be without a referendum. And then column 2013-B is the column that has the tax rate and the total taxes collected for a referendum, which would generate, on an estimated basis, $1 million in additional revenue. As you can see, the tax rate from 2011, 2012, and 2013-A is increasing from 1.9% to 2.5% without any referendum whatsoever. But then if the district needs to generate additional money, then 2013-B, there's an additional rate there to generate the funds that are necessary. With this background in mind, let's now turn to the comparison that's required by the Illinois Property Tax Code. This chart has the same, the columns at the top has the same tax years, so 2011, 2012, 2013-A, and 2013-B. And then along the left-hand side, we have rows for a home's market value, a home's assessed value, which in DuPage County is 1/3 of the fair market value. Then we have the tax rates, and these rates are the same rates that we saw on the previous slide. And then we have the total estimated taxes for each of those tax rates, which is calculated by multiplying the tax rate by the home's AV, or assessed value. And you can see, based on the statutory comparison, this home, which maintains its value for 3 years, 2011 through 2013, that the taxes increased from $1,900 in 2011 to $2,500 in 2013. At the bottom of the chart, you can then see the comparisons between, in this case, what the statute requires, and that's the top row, tax increase 2011 to 2013-B, and you can see that the increase in taxes for a home with a market value of $100,000 is $282.20. However, the district, in calculating the impact of the referendum, looks not at 2011 and 2013-B as the statute requires. How the more accurate calculation of the referendum's impact is looking at the difference between what the taxes would be in 2013 with and without a referendum, and that is the line at the very bottom of this chart, showing the tax increase, the difference between 2013-A and 2013-B, and for a home with a market value of $100,000 in market value, that would be $80 per year. As most property owners know, over the past several years, market values and home values have been declining pretty dramatically over the past several years. And data available to the district shows that on an aggregate basis for Itasca District 10, that the value of our properties have been dropping approximately 10% per year. There's a decline from 2011 to 2012 of 10%, and we're anticipating another 10% drop from 2012 to 2013. So in the prior slide, which again showed what the statute requires to calculate the impact of the referendum, we had to look at 2011 to 2013, but assume that that home value maintained a static number for the entire 3 years, where in reality home values have been dropping. So what this slide shows is what would the impact of the proposed referendum be for a home that was worth $300,000 in market value in 2011, but then dropped 20% in value between 2011 and 2013. And you can see at the bottom of this slide that, again, using the statutory comparison between 2011 and 2013B, that the taxes would be for a home of, again, $100,000 of market value would be just under $100. But again, the more accurate comparison is looking at what 2013 would be with and without a referendum. And so the last line on this slide shows the tax increase, the difference between 2013A, which is without the referendum, and 2013B, which is with the referendum. And that is an impact of $63.79. This slide is a little different take than the prior slide. The prior slide had a home that had a value of $300,000 in 2011 with an assessed value of $100,000 in 2011, and then a declining value over the 3 years. This slide also shows a home with declining value over 3 years. However, the decline in this case has the home dropping to a value of $300,000 or an assessed value of $100,000. And this $300,000 market value, $100,000 assessed value is a norm for calculating and expressing the impact of referendums. And so in the presentations made by the district's administration to the board regarding the referendum, we have expressed the impact of the referendum in these terms of a home worth $300,000 in 2013 and what the impact on that property would be. So again, we have the same tax years, we have the same items with home market value, home assessed value, tax rate, and tax totals. And at the bottom of the screen, again, we have the impact looking at this home from 2011 to through 2013 with the referendum. And for, again, looking at the $100,000 in market value, which is the statutory comparison, we're seeing an increase of only $123.40. And you may recall from prior slides that that number, again, based on the statutory comparison, is almost $300. But again, the more accurate comparison is looking at what the tax increase would be in 2013 with and without a referendum, and looking at those numbers at the very bottom of the slide. The increase between 2013A and 2013B for a home of $300,000 is about $240, and for a home with a value of $100,000 is just under $80. These last numbers are the ones that have been shared and used in our presentations to the board, and we believe these are the accurate numbers for expressing the impact of the referendum. Thank you for your attention in watching this presentation.